Hey there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. I'm your host, Patsun, and today we're going to be taking a look at r/relationship advice, where OP's wife is surprised that she's getting a divorce. Let's begin. My wife cheated on me 2 years ago, and we worked through it. Now I want to leave, but I feel guilty about it. Posted by Reddit user Safe Interaction 956.
Just over 2 years ago, my wife cheated on me with a coworker at her work's Christmas party out of town. She told me immediately the morning after. To say I was devastated would be an understatement. This happened pretty much immediately prior to our country going into lockdown, so we were stuck together. I was in a bit of a daze at the time and just kind of went through the motions. I was angry and miserable, but also wanted to understand why she would do it. Hence, it made sense to work through it at the time, seeing as we were seemingly stuck together. To her credit though, she did everything possible to make it right. She quit her job, cut off all contact with the co-worker, offered to go to therapy or counseling, and even admitted to what she did publicly. I never asked her to do this, and her mother and sister are very close to her and were appalled. She became much more loving and considerate and even offered to let me sleep with someone else. I was actually upset with this suggestion, but she was only saying it out of desperation. Fast forward to now, 2 years later, and by all accounts things feel like they're back to normal again. At least for her. She's no longer moping around the house, stepping on eggshells in conversation, breaking down when anything regarding cheating happens. She started crying while we were watching a soap where a wife cheats on her husband. Unfortunately, I feel like this return to normalcy has reopened the wound. I think about that night more these days than I did during the previous 2 years. I don't know why, but I think that society returning to a bit of a pre-2020 state has made me feel like I've gone back in time to that evening. I can't stand to look at her anymore. Not in a she disgusts me way, but in more of a why are you still even here kind of way. I feel guilty for wanting to leave now, after all the work she put in, even though logically, I know I shouldn't. I feel like I'm the bad guy for wanting to end the marriage after the work she has put in. I know people will be able to easily say she made her bed, etc. But I'm still really struggling with the idea of leaving her, for her sake. I don't hate her for it, but I don't think I love her anymore, and I know this will destroy her. Part of me wishes I was strong enough to have left when it happened. Anyone been in a similar situation or have any advice? Thanks in advance.
OP, sometimes the hardest thing to do is often the right ones. I'm not saying that you did the right thing by staying with her for another 2 years, and in fact, I truly believe that you only stayed that long because you were forced to. Your wife had a one-night stand with her coworker. Regardless if she was drunk or not, it doesn't change the fact that she willingly had sex with another man. Sure, it's great that she's remorseful, if that truly is the case, which I doubt, but if she really is, then she can be a better wife for her next husband. Maybe she won't cheat on him like she did to you, OP. If you truly still care for your wife, then you need to teach her this lesson. She needs to suffer the consequences of her actions to truly be remorseful and try to actually change. Your marriage with your wife, it's over, OP. It has been for over 2 years. You're only realizing it now because you actually have a choice if you want to stay with her or not. You just can't repair broken trust. If you stay with her, not only will you be a doormat, but trust me, you will be miserable, constantly thinking when she will suck another man's dick again. Is that the kind of life you want, OP? Is that the lesson you want to pass down to your children? Of course not, right? It may take some time and therapy, but I know you will get past this. Now, for OP's update.
Thanks to everyone who commented on my previous post. I was surprised at how much people cared about my benign marriage problems, but it helped me a lot. I checked this account out today to see what the responses were since last week and was taken aback by the number of people who wanted an update. The day after I posted, I talked to my wife and laid out my feelings. I mentioned some of the points that people on my previous post had articulated very well that resonated with me. I told her, whilst I had forgiven her, I was struggling to forget what happened, and the fact we were seemingly going back to normal had triggered something in me, and now I couldn't stop thinking about it. I said that, whilst I do appreciate all the work she put in to try and save our marriage, I couldn't continue anymore. I mentioned a point that someone on my previous post said that whilst we were in lockdown, it almost felt easier to just ignore the issue to some degree, as I would always know where she was or what she was doing. But recently, for the first time since it happened, she's going into town and visiting friends, and my mind is just running at 100 miles per hour while she's out. Who is she with? Why is she slightly late home, etc., and I haven't had to confront these feelings before. She cried, I cried, she begged me to stay, I cried again. We spent what felt like hours just sitting together in the living room, not speaking at points. She asked the same questions multiple times. Do I still love her? Will we ever see each other again? Is there anything we can try to make this work? I think eventually she was doing it to delay the inevitable. She's now staying at her mum's house, and I'm going to file for divorce. I know it's easy to lay all the blame at her feet when you're on the outside looking in, but I feel just as bad today as I did the day I found out what happened. I am heartbroken again and know full well I'm going to question myself if I've made the right choice. You can tell me it is the right choice all you like. There is no way I will ever be sure this was the right choice. There are no winners with this shit. Everyone is miserable, everything sucks, and I'm here reliving the most painful experience of my life for the benefit of a bunch of internet strangers who probably only want to read about the drama and have no reason to care about me personally. I don't mean to come across as bitter. I had lots of genuinely supportive comments on my previous post. I'm just really struggling right now. I won't be using this account or responding here again after this post. Thanks to everyone who commented on my previous post. TLDR. Wife cheated 2 years ago, originally worked through it, but now I've decided to end the marriage. Everybody loses.
OP, please know that writing about these type of things, it really does help. You're still venting out your frustrations. Even if we're just internet strangers, many of us will be more than willing to listen and talk to you. You're also helping others going through something similar. There are others who got cheated on and feel guilty for not continuing to try, and they are forced in a marriage with broken trust. They may find and read your post someday and know they're not alone. You've learned an important lesson not to ignore infidelity, since the memories doesn't really go away. It's just scratching at the back of your mind. OP, this is her fault. She is the only one to blame for this shitty situation. She shattered the single most vital ingredient in a healthy relationship: trust. After what she did to you, she does not deserve a second chance. Honestly, the fact that she was expecting you to stay after literally fucking another guy is just fucking selfish. It's just so fucking gross, gentlemen. Let's flip the script a little bit. Would she have been as loving and patient as yourself should you had been the one to betray her trust and had sex with another woman? Would she be willing to forgive you? Or would she have bolted out of that relationship? That's all the answer you need, OP. Find someone who respects you and truly respects a loving, committed relationship. Someone who will not treat them with the same carelessness like a casual hookup. That person will be loyal and you will appreciate that loyalty to you every single day. You have a lot of love to give, my friend. It's a little bit damaged now, but you have a big heart. After some therapy and once you meet the right woman, you'll be able to feel and dish out love again. Just like how I will love you if you donate to me, your host PattSun. Viewer support is the best way for me to remain independent and continue bringing you these daily videos, which will always be here on my YouTube channel for you to watch absolutely free. So consider clicking that super thanks just below the video title, or you can use my PayPal in the description box down below. Thanks for listening, everyone. If you even somewhat enjoyed today's story, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and if you really like it, make sure to subscribe to PattSun to never miss a future upload. Stay strong.